Hey guys, this is Zoshi and this is going to be my first impression of the Field Tarot, which I just recently got. It comes in a 2-piece box and I really absolutely love this color. It's just so beautiful. This is the back, this is the beginning, the cover, interesting. We already have, some problems. Off to a good start. So as usual, I'm gonna show you, this is the back, a few cards that I like. This is the overall design. So if you just, want to look at a few cards in the deck, but I have a full flip through where you can just look at, all the cards without me talking. Let's talk about first the guidebook. It has a few spreads in the beginning. There's an extra one for the this is called the field spread, which is, there's the sunset, the horizon, the road, the mountain, and the sunrise, which I think is cool. And after that, we get the major arcana and then the minors, and there's always, some explanation what it means, explanation for what it means, the card itself and the keywords. So it can work well for a beginner, to be honest, because you have these keywords that you can work with, and there's always a keyword on the card as well for the minors, which some people find these annoying. To be honest, I can ignore them if I want to, or I can use them if I feel like it, so I don't mind at all. But besides that, there's not a lot, but every card has the same amount of text, which I always appreciate. The minors are not less in that sense. Okay, so that's the guidebook. And then I'm gonna show you a few cards. Let's start with the ones that I didn't really like, because there's more that I did. It's just, Hierophant. It's the really religious kind of way, but I don't know, it looks like a literal gatekeeper, so I'm not sure that I like that image. The High Priestess is beautiful, but when I looked at it so far, all the time I thought that this was the Empress, which is a problem. And then there are these naked ladies, or not even ladies, naked people from behind, and I don't know why, but I have an issue with their butt. I kind of feel like that this part is just I don't know, it should be closer. I don't know. I know a body shaming I shouldn't. And I know it's your own way of, it's the artist's way of representing butts, but I kind of feel like that there should be, I don't know, more. Yeah, I know. That's my issue with the butts in the decks. But, you decide if you have an issue with any butts in the deck or not. I know. I have issues. These are cards, and I didn't pick all of them, but I picked quite a lot. And I think, yeah, we're in the reverse order, so I'm going to show you. The Lover's card, for some reason I really like the way they stand, and I obviously love the tattoo, but the way they embrace each other and have each other's back at the same time, I really like that one. And I like the cardstock, to be honest. I don't know what sort of a cardstock this is. I forgot who's the publisher, but I think it's US Games. Oh, okay. For some reason, I didn't feel like it was US Game cardstock, but I guess it is. I like this fortune card because, it represents the wheels up and down aspect really well, and I just love the rainbow colored, wheel. Next one, Strength. She just looks beautiful, and I don't know, just she has grace, which I think represents strength really well, because it's not just about, physical strength or mental strength. It's about what do you do when you have those. And the way she's standing, and especially I think her hand, it looks like she has grace, which I think is just brilliant. The next one is the Moon. I don't know why I love that flowery moon. And I know that there's a flower moon. You know, one of the moons are called flower moon, right? I'm not very knowledgeable. Sorry. But I love her hair. And I just love the way she's just looking up and not necessarily... I mean, I'm not saying she's afraid, but you could say that she's wondering if the moon actually has flowers. The next one is Judgment, and it's why I like this one is not because there's a swan, and you know, don't judge yourself maybe because you're more beautiful than, you know, you're not the ugly duck, which, you know, why do you call ducks ugly, but whatever. But for me it's funny because I don't like swans and I'm judging them all the time because they are, you know, aggressive, and my experiences with swans are not pleasant most of the time. So I kind of feel like the deck is calling me out on why do you judge swans? You shouldn't. So I like that. The universe, I think it's a brilliant one for the bird. All the connection, all the chakras. It could be, you know, planets if you want to, and I just really love this art style. The vision for the Three of Wands. I've seen this type of trees before, but I never connected it to, you know, like focusing your attention and having that vision in your, whatever it's called, you know, focus, or, you know, in your bullseye, so to speak. And I think the Ostara Tarot has something similar, but I never saw it that way in that deck until now, of course. I love this one with Deception and the Fox, because foxes are sly. You can, you know, debate the motivation behind their acts, but that's the, you know, the urban legend about foxes, and that gives a good kind of layered meaning, because, you know, foxes are doing everything for their families. So if they are being deceptive and sly, there could be a reason why, and that rhymed. So it kind of calls you out to see the situation a bit more in depth, maybe ask the other person or try to find out why they did what they did, which can be something interesting in a reading. Two of Discs, Two of Pentacles with change, just visually so nicely represents the, you know, that aspect of life. Yeah, I know, words. Eight of Discs with dedication, and, you know, who's more dedicated than a wolf or a dog who's sitting outside barking at or howling at the moon? You know, you have to be dedicated to go outside every night and look at it and howl and do that all the freaking time. So I kind of like the idea. And then there's the Princess of Disc, which is a princess, but it's a manifestation. And I think the way that she's, you know, it looks like she's holding the moon, and it's quite literally reach for the stars. And if you look at her face, you can see that she's focusing on her goals, what she wants to manifest. So I like the keyword as well for the Princess of Discs, which I think it's the Page of the Pentacles. So that was something that I really liked. And the next one, last one, is the Queen of Discs, the Queen of Pentacles, which is the pregnant card in this deck. The Empress is not pregnant, that's an animal. And I just love that because I need a pregnant lady card in the deck, because I do read for people who wants to get pregnant or has a chance to get pregnant. And sometimes, for me at least as a reader, it's a bit, you know, annoying that, and I understand why, you know, other people take those images out of their own deck, but I look forward to it because it's part of life. If, you know, no one gets to be pregnant anymore, then humanity pretty much goes to goodbye. And I know there are other ways to, you know, create life, but if you look into the medical experiences and studies on the subject, natural pregnancies are still giving the child bigger chance, just in general, just as much as I do, you know. I mean, I know someone who had in vitro babies, and they had more difficulties, health issues because of that. And you know, I just read a few studies. I'm not claiming to be an expert in the field. I'm just saying that for me it's a happy thing that there's a pregnant card. But you know, if you have an issue with that, or you know, naked people or some nipples, which I'm actually quite happy that there are nipples and not like the heaven and earth where there are no nipples. Then you know, just be aware and maybe don't get this deck. It shuffles really nicely. Obviously, it's US games. Ah, look at that! Look at that! I mean, I just love the style. So yeah, that's my first impression. I'm quite curious how it will work. I have a good expectation, to be honest, that it will work well for all sorts of readings. It's visually appealing for me. It's not necessarily a deck that you can get a lot out, because if you look at, for example, this Devil card, there's nothing like the usual Devil. But I think if you know your tarot enough, then you know you can read with it easily. And there are quite a few really good cards. And I will stop talking about it because that's just the first impression. Obviously, when I work with the deck and I have more experience with it, I will update you guys. But yeah, thank you so much for being here. Hope this was useful in any way. If you have any questions about the deck or the guidebook or whatever, you know, connected to it, please do ask, because I'm more than happy to reply. Like, subscribe, comment down below. Those all really honestly help my channel. You know, get my Oracle decks if you want to, because I have those as well. And see you in the next one. Bye!